This is a special live for batch 9, batch 10, only 9 and 10. So, like last two batches, which are the recent ones, only उन्हीं को add किया है. So, a very good evening to all of you, and very sorry also because I was away for like around 12 days. I couldn't answer any of you. I couldn't take any call. 10-12 दिन आपके लिए कुछ कर नहीं पाया. But this was a relaxing mode for me. Relaxation था मेरे लिए because I had a great hectic life. I was writing my book. I was completing those things. I was taking 3 a.m. class for gate exam. So after the gate exam, I just wanted to have some time for me, and this was the reason I was in Goa for like 8 to 10 days. I was in Goa for 5 days. I was in Mumbai. So technically, for me, it was Mumbai to Goa drive, Mumbai to Goa car, drive. Then some other basic things I did. I did a trekking. I met hippies. I did swimming, plain ocean, fought with Italians. So बहुत सारी चीज़ें हुई यहाँ पे. And very good evening to Rudra Sharma, Himanshu ji, Neeru ma'am. कैसे हैं आप लोग? I'll read a lot of names. So around 80 students have joined, and we're going to talk about what to read, what not to read, how to utilize the time, as we only have like 2 months 3 months left. 2 या 3 महीने बाकी हैं, तो उनको कैसे यूटिलाइज करना है, कैसे पढ़ना है आपको, किस तरीके से क्या क्या करना है. विल टॉक अबाउट ऑल दीज थिंग्स. इसके बारे में बात करेंगे. हेलो चारू जी, कैसे हैं? नमस्ते टू स्टूडेंट्स फ्रॉम आंध्र प्रदेश, students from Kerala, students from Bengaluru have joined. Yes, many of you are having your first live session with me. So many of you are having your first live session with me. This is the reason that I have chosen only a batch 9 and batch 10. Shubham, my Goa trip was amazing. Literature has taught me to live the life, and this is the feel like when I was in Goa, I was doing everything for experience. The best part in my Goa trip was to find out hippies. I met hippies, and I talked about their lifestyle, why they are hippies, why they have rejected normal life. वो लोग एक nomadic life क्यों जी रहे हैं? Because when you read literature, you will find out Matthew Arnold has written Scholar Gypsy. So Matthew Arnold somewhere has supported hippie life. Somebody somewhere has supported kind of the life which has rejected the normal society. अगर आपने स्कॉलर जिप्सी पढ़ा है मैथ्यू ऑर्नल का, तो आपको पता होगा इट वॉज इंस्पायर्ड बाय जोसेफ ग्लेनवेल्स वैनिटी ऑफ डॉगमेटाइजिंग, a scholar who leaves the university, leaves the college, and goes with the hippies, nomadics to live a life. In 1960s of America, there were so many hippies, इतने ज़्यादा hippie आ गए थे 1960s में, that everybody got confused what is the motto of life, what is the aim of the life. आपने एक चीज़ देखी होगी, जैज एज बोलते हैं, जैज एज. या आपने देखा होगा पीपल हैविंग वेरी डिफरेंट डिफरेंट हेयर स्टाइल, हैविंग दिस काइंड ऑफ फंकी शर्ट्स एंड taking drugs, weed, and living a life where they are not answerable to anyone. They are not conscious about any social obligation. They do not give damn to anything. So that was a 1960s hippie culture, also known as beat generation. आपने देखा होगा बीट जनरेशन में एलन जिन्सबर्ग, जैक किरॉक, एंड विलियम एस बैरो, ये सब लोग वहाँ पे थे. दे वर टॉकिंग अबाउट different forms of sexuality, experiments in sexuality, and drugs, various types of drugs. ये सारी चीज़ें वहाँ से वापस आनी शुरू हुई. Along with these things, the moment of Second World War, where the nuclear bomb was used for the first time, the atom bomb by America. Japan ka Nagasaki, Hiroshima were two cities where America bombed these two states and cities, and almost millions of people died immediately. लाखों लोग immediately मर गए. Tell me this thing that I'm talking to you, it's a live class going on. Somebody somewhere drops a nuclear bomb. Do I know everyone? Can I control everyone? No. So what if somebody somewhere has dropped a nuclear bomb and I just die talking to you? I just evaporate. भाप बन के उड़ जाऊं. What's my fault? What's your fault if this happens to you at your place? without doing anything, without knowing anything, without participating in any war. All of a sudden you just die. What will happen? आपको पता है जापान की डॉक्यूमेंट्रीज देखी है आपने? You must have seen the documentaries in Japan. The survivors told that their parents they just evaporated. सब भाप बन के उड़ गए. It was so hot. My question is, what will be the message left for you if you have seen this kind of massacre, if you have seen this kind of life, if you realize the futility of life, if you realize the futility of social relations, if you realize the futility of everything which is meaningless will become, everything which has a meaning right now will become meaningless. आपको कैसा लगेगा अगर आपके साथ ऐसा हो तो? I want to read your comments. Please type करके बताइए. I want to read your comments. Total absurdity. Somebody has written total absurdity. Good. और बताओ. एक ने लिखा है कि no conflict, only peace. Somebody has said no net. Very bad. Totally blank. Anarchy. The ultimate goal of our human life is to be happy. No, no doubt. There are so many other goals. Somebody will say that the ultimate goal of the human life is to get moksha, to get jannat, to get a happy life after death. But the reality is that we all want to be happy. हम खुश होना चाहते हैं. Right? Tell me this thing. We all want to be happy, maybe by eating our choiced food, maybe eating pizza, going for a movie, going for a date, going for an outing. We all want to be happy. What are the ways to be happy? Tell me this thing. First, you tell me that do you agree to the point that we want to be happy? क्या आपको लगता है कि आप सिर्फ just think about it. I want to have a good car. I want to have a big house. I want to have a beautiful wife, a handsome husband. Ultimately, I want to be happy with my things around, my choices around, right? Happy होना है? Clear? Anyone who says that I don't want to be happy? Anyone? कोई ऐसा है जिसको लगता है मैं happy नहीं होना चाहता हूँ? Happiness means peace of mind. Your mind is not at war. Your mind is not having any conflict. You are comfortable, at peace, feeling good. That's happiness. सबको खुश होना है? I am reading your comments. सबको खुश होना है? Now I'm going to tell you a joke. So there were two people. Were talking to each other, and they were in front of Taj Mahal. They were standing in front of Taj Mahal. So one friend asked another one that, can you shake Taj Mahal? Can you move Taj Mahal from its place? He said no. And the first friend said, have a hard drink with me. Let's have some peg and watch Taj Mahal shaking. Ultimately the goal got completed. तो उसने क्या बोला? Take drink, get drunk and watch Taj Mahal shaking like this. You'll be happy. You will be happy. You work hard, you qualify NET, you go for an interview with all the hope, and you find out that there is someone else who got a phone call from a minister and got the job. What is the value of your NET? What is the value of your PhD? There is no guarantee that even after qualifying NET, qualifying PhD, doing something, you'll become happy, right? But then, yes, what if you don't care about NET? What if you don't care about your responsibility? What if you don't care about your life? You just simply get some drugs, take it under the banyan tree, enjoying, no tension at all. This was the reason in 1960s, after the Second World War, people started thinking that the life has no meaning at all. एक स्टूडेंट लिखा है कि मुझे कुछ समझ नहीं आ रहा है। अगर आपको रियलाइज हो जाए कि जिंदगी का कोई मतलब नहीं है, कोई मतलब नहीं है, कुछ मतलब नहीं है, तो कैसी लाइफ हो जाएगी आपकी? और आप ये एक्सेप्ट कर लेते यस दैट एवरीथिंग इज मोमेंट्री, अगर आपको ये अच्छे से उम्मीद हो जाए, happiness is a myth, but yes, success is also a myth. What we count success is having money, बैंक बैलेंस कितना है, बड़ा मकान किसका है, बड़ी गाड़ी किसकी है. This was the reason I was talking about the hippie life. I met two hippies in Goa, had a private conversation with them, saw a lot of other things that I cannot tell you on video. I cannot expose those things, but yes, they were doing something which is, we accept that yes, hippies are doing those things. They were taking like drugs and all. So my question was, why are you living this life? What is your goal? What are your hopes from life? What is life according to you? What is society? I got a lot of answers, and soon I will upload a video on hippie life, hippie culture related to existentialism and absurd literature. I'll teach you complete absurd theater. एक समय आया था 1950s-60s में जहां पे people started questioning the life itself, authenticity. There are no gods. There are no gods. The big thing is that we always have a debate. God के नाम पे debate होती है. The believers will say no, God exists. The non-believers will say no, God does not exist. And the rationals will question the existence of God. That yes, God is there. Somebody is there who has made us. Somebody is there who is responsible for all our birth, actions, life and death, everything. But then we question, where is he? अब 1950-60 में क्या हुआ कि सब लोग कंफ्यूज हो गए लाइफ के बारे में. एवरीबडी गॉट कंफ्यूज्ड. If somebody is thinking that how it is related to literature, how he is talking about life, why he has become so philosophical, किसी को ऐसा तो नहीं लग रहा? Anyone who is thinking that why Vineet Pandey has become philosophical, or maybe Vineet Pandey was in Goa in touch with hippies, so got a hippie shirt and has become hippie, he is no more going to teach us. ऐसा तो नहीं लग रहा किसी को? I'm talking about beat generation. क्वेश्चन आता है नेट के अंदर, बीट जनरेशन. आई एम टॉकिंग अबाउट absurd लिटरेचर. आई एम टॉकिंग अबाउट एग्जिस्टेंशियलिज्म, द लीप ऑफ फेथ. मार्टिन हेजर का टर्म है. एल्बर्ट कामू का कॉन्सेप्ट द स्ट्रेंजर. वी आर ऑल एलियन लिविंग इन एलियनेटेड यूनिवर्स. देयर इज नो इनहेरेंट ट्रुथ. प्लेटो का कॉन्सेप्ट है. दिस इज द वे आई टीच. आई टॉक अबाउट थिंग्स, आई मेक यू थिंक, एंड देन आई टेल यू थिंग्स. So remember the point. When the moment the Victorian society was having an issue with science and religion, that's called Victorian compromise. Science versus religion. That's known Victorian compromise, also known as Oxford movement, Tractarian movement. So somebody will question that what do we call the Victorian compromise? Victorian compromise was a debate between the science, the value of science, and the value of religion. Like our parents, they believe in God. We people have a lot of apps, earpods, iWatches, so we don't believe in God that much. What we believe, we say that it's everything science. हार्ट ट्रांसप्लांट हो रहा है साइंस से, क्लोन्स बन रहे हैं. परसिवरेंस फ्रॉम यूएस हैज लैंडेड ऑन मार्स. मार्स पे सब चीजें हो गई हैं. तो इन शॉर्ट साइंस वर्सेस रिलीजन का डिबेट था. एंड देन टू सपोर्ट द रिलीजन, Oxford movement and Tractarian movement was launched. Same thing kept on, increasing. The modernity, the postmodern. In this is religion got question. If you remember the most important writer I'm going to talk about, Philip Larkin, famous poetry, church going. Note karo usko. Philip Larkin, church going. He says there is a serious house on earth it is. He says that people have stopped coming to church. People, they don't go to the church. And then he says, I wonder who will be the last to go to the church. We are losing faith in God. Nuclear bomb jab aaya. Matlab, imagine this thing, nuclear bomb, why it had changed everything. न्यूक्लियर बॉम्ब जब आया जापान में, नागासाकी में, 2 लाख पीपल जस्ट डाइड, जस्ट वैनिस्ड। 2 लाख लोग गायब। Those 2 lakh people prayed to God. They had great faith in God. They had great faith in life, in the power of God, in miracles, rebirth. Sub waste, you khatam. Will you have faith in God in of if you see the deaths in majority? भगवान से भरोसा उठ जाएगा कि नहीं उठ जाएगा? People started questioning the value of life. The famous writer W.H. Auden has written September 1, 1939. It's the name of his poetry, September 1, 1939, where he says that I am sitting on a 50-second dive, uncertain, afraid. There was a question in NET exam that what do you mean by the word dive? Question tha. He says that I am sitting on a 50-second dive, uncertain, afraid. And he says the future, the clever hopes of future expired today. All my plans, all my dreams expired today. Why? Because Auden had great dreams. Auden didn't want to fight. But 2 countries, 3 countries, they started a world war and we all had to face. मतलब जो लोग उस समय जिंदा थे, सब कुछ खराब हो गया. So nothing is in your hand. Nothing is in your hand. Everything is in the hands of God. Everything is in the hands of a powerful Almighty. Then why do you have to take the tension? We all have read, we all have heard people talking about that God does everything. It's everything which is based on the will of God. Then why do we care? अगर सब ऊपर वाले का ही है तो why do we care? Think about it. Why do we care? I never wanted to be a teacher. Never wanted to be a teacher. Never. I became a teacher, then a famous one. I believed that teachers have boring life. I got a celebrity life. People started recognizing me at the airports. So I was totally wrong. What I thought, what I got is totally wrong. But then I never wanted to be a teacher. And there are so many people who have qualified NET, have JRF, and are doing business. So technically, you do not have any control on your life. Then why do you struggle? Why do you sacrifice your life, your pleasure? Why do you, leave things behind just because you have a goal and then you realize that your goal is not in your hand? And even if you accomplish your goal, you cannot be sure about your happiness. There are so many NET qualified people, they are not working. Just because you qualify, you don't become a good teacher. Qualifying NET and teaching is a two different thing. They are two different things. So what you have to do today, read Beat Generation. Why those hippie people became famous in 1960s in America. Also read The Role of Bob Marley in Culture. I'll teach you culture studies. I'll take the reference of Bob Marley. And I must tell you, I initially didn't like him. He was a druggist. But then when I started understanding his philosophy, no doubt I like now. I like Bob Marley, Bob Dylan. They're amazing people. Jim Morrison. But if we say that only the Westerns have given us the philosophy, no. Bhagavad Gita has the same philosophy, the existentialism. तुम क्या लेके आए थे, तुम क्या लेके जाओगे, याद है? Remember Bhagavad Gita? What did you bring with you when you were born? What are you going to take when you die? Nothing. We came from soil, we're gonna mix in soil. There is nothing that belongs to us. Nothing that belongs to us. So why, when we have a time duration of birth to death, why are we having people, enmity, jealousy, racial issues, religious issues? Why are we having all those things? In absurd literature, the question is that your absurd is somebody's existence. आपका जो absurd है किसी का existence है. I'll make it easy in Vineet Pandey style. Have you seen a mad person? पागल देखा है? पागल. Mad person. Who is mad? पागल किसे बोलते हैं? Who is पागल? Who is पागल according to you? Who is mad according to you? देखा है पागल? Don't say कि विनीत सर को देखा है. एक बंदा पागल है, बार बार नेट क्वालिफाई करता है. पीपल से दैट यस आई एम मैड. बार बार नेट कौन देता है? अरे कोई नहीं देता, दैट्स व्हाई आई गिव इट ना. So if there is somebody has written ki who has lost his mind, how do you know that losing mind is called madness? I don't have control on my mind. I think a lot of things. आपने एक स्टूडेंट ने लिखा है, one who doesn't have any control. I don't control my mind. I think everything, anything. जिसने गल को पा लिया वो पागल, गल को पता नहीं. I don't understand. Yes, your passion is also madness, but my question is that what exactly you mean by madness? Actually, pagal kaun hai? A person who is not listened by anyone. एक ऐसा आदमी जिसकी कोई बात नहीं सुनता. हमारे पेरेंट्स की बात हम नहीं सुनते. We can't say हमारे पेरेंट्स पागल है. Somebody is fond of something. So somebody has written that somebody who is unusual, somebody who is different. When somebody is different, when somebody is unusual, when somebody is doing something which is not socially accepted, it doesn't make that person mad. This is the problem. We are living in the life of civilized society, but the life out of that civilization also exists. Did you ever think about this thing? हम सिर्फ एक सभ्य समाज की बात करते हैं, but what if you are not in that educated society? You still exist. आपकी वैल्यू है. If I am sitting in a very costly restaurant in South Delhi, and in case I start using my hand to eat my food, mixing two, three things together, rice, the curd, vegetables, mixing together, and I eat like this, the elite class will immediately call me mad, uncivilized. But what, when I was in Kerala, I loved this thing that they do not use the spoon, because we have senses. When the tip of our fingers, when it touches the food, our body, our mind becomes ready to accept it. But when we have the food with the spoon directly puts it in our mouth, and the process of touching, feeling and being prepared, it doesn't get completed. So what if I do something which is unusual for others? Who gave them rights to call me mad? You are eating food like this. I eat food like this. I throw, I take a jump. So it should be my talent, right? Instead of calling me mad. Somebody rides a bike to the college, goes in a very normal way by riding a bike. You are driving. Somebody knows to do a wheelie, like a movie star, a Bollywood hero, taking a bike on the back wheel, लेके जा रहे. So हम उसको पागल बोलेंगे, हम उसको talented बोलेंगे. If you do not believe in social structure, if you do not believe in those Borges traditional things, and you question it, you raise a question, anybody will call you mad, but it's simply that you are different. So mostly Shakespeare, Milton, John Donne, Bunyan, Charles Dickens, Hardy, T.S. Eliot, everybody has talked about the civilized society. But what about those who are not civilized? Who are not civilized? They are also the part of life. They are also the part of literature. And this was the reason that in 1960s a new literature emerged known as absurd literature, absurd theater. Why do we have to have a sense? हमें हमेशा सेंस क्यों रखना है अपनी बात में? हमें हमेशा सेंस क्यों रखना है? Martha Mason was not mad, she was fighting for her identity. Think about this thing, just think about this. Why do we have to be sensible? What you speak should have a message, what you do should have a message, what you convey should have a message. Why? Why am I supposed to give a message in everything? I'll make it easy for you. Albert Camus has written a famous book, The Myth of Sisyphus, in 1942. The book has the word absurd, which is written for the first time in 1942. In The Myth of Sisyphus, Sisyphus has been given a punishment by the king. King gives him a punishment of placing a boulder at the top of the mountain. So there is a mountain like this, a mountain. And then there is a ball size rock, a rock which has a round shape. So the task of Sisyphus is to push the ball and place it here. But as we know that the ball is a boulder shape, O shaped ball, it's not easy to fix the ball because it rolls down. Then he takes it here, then again it goes down. King is very smart. King said that the day you will fix the ball at the top, I'll allow you to go. But King knows that it's impossible. It cannot be fixed. So technically, King gave a smart punishment. After the punishment, after few months, the punishment के बाद, King sent his soldiers to see what's happening to that guy, the man who was given the punishment. And the soldiers came back, said, Sir, he's happy. He is enjoying his punishment. Now, can you control it? Is it in your hand? Somebody can be happy in the prison. You can't make anyone feel bad in the prison. What if somebody starts finding his best friends in the prison? So Sisyphus, while placing the ball at the top, he actually found a motto in his life. It became the goal in his life that ye karke dikhana hai. He became happy. He found a goal. Now, my friends, tell me, placing the ball at the top, is it going to give any social message? Is it beneficial for society? No. If the ball is being placed at the top of the mountain, avoiding the slope, it's not beneficial for society. It's not beneficial for humanitarian things. But still he was doing it. So what if he has found his happiness in something which doesn't have a direct social message? We must assume Sisyphus is happy. तो देखा जाए तो सिसिफस एक पहाड़ के ऊपर एक पत्थर को, गोल पत्थर को खड़ा करने की कोशिश कर रहा है. उसका कोई सोशल मैसेज नहीं है. This is the pen. Many of you do the same thing that I'm doing. I start doing like this, tickling. I'm enjoying. I do like this. I feel good. Is it a social message? Am I giving you a social message doing this? ऐसा तो नहीं बोलोगे ना, वाओ आज विनीत सर ने ऐसे कान में से गुदगुदी किया, वी गॉट इंस्पायर्ड बाय विनीत सर, ही वाज डूइंग टिकलिंग विद अ पेन इन हिज ईयर. नहीं ना. It doesn't have any social message. But what if I'm enjoying? What if I feel ticklish? I feel good. I have my meaning here. I'm happy. Whether you get the meaning or not. So you will call me mad. You will call me absurd, odd. But I don't care. I have my existence. So the absurd writers started focusing on those things which were always ignored. Why a hero, heroine has to have a social love story? Why hero has the heroic qualities? What if you are the hero and do not have any heroic quality? Have you ever seen any hero introduced in a movie doing like this? No. They show you a hero with six-pack, good looks. Why? A hero can be like this also. We all become old. We all start farting. एक समय सबका हमारा हो जाएगा. We all will all become lazy asses. हम सब एक समय बूढ़े हो जाएंगे, पेट खराब होगा, बहुत सारा गैस छोड़ेंगे. ऐसा तो नहीं ऋतिक रोशन doesn't do that. करता है ना ऋतिक रोशन भी, फाट करता नहीं करता है, करता है ना ऋतिक रोशन. But they never show you those things. What they show you is the shining, glimmering side. अरे उसका नॉर्मल साइड भी दिखाओ. Do they ever show you Katrina Kaif washing utensils, doing mopping, pocha marte? No. So absurd started focusing on something which was never the part of literature, which was ignored. Why a mother and son, they are supposed to have a sweet relationship? What if the son doesn't care if the mother dies? Albert Camus, the famous book Stranger, also known as Outsider. Mother dies and the boy is sad because why did she die? The boy had a weekend plan with his girlfriend. उसको ये है कि अरे यार अभी क्यों मरना था, अभी तो मेरे को घूमना था. Then he goes to his boss. He says that my mother died. I want to go home. The boss is angry. Boss is like, he says, see, that's not my fault. What does he say to his boss? He says, that's not my fault. Then he goes to meet his mother who is in an old age house. All the friends of the lady, the other female friends of his mother, they are all crying. And the son doesn't understand why they are crying. Son is not crying. Son doesn't understand why auntie and other friends of my mother, why they are crying. And the other women think that son is heartbroken. Son has faced a shock of the death of his mother. So he wants to cry alone. That's why what they do, they leave the son with the dead body of the mother. And there he smokes and drinks coffee. He doesn't know what's happening. Read the story, Albert Camus, Outsider. There are so many absurdities, but absurdities have message. Hello friends, chai pee lo, pape kha lo. Why it became famous? What is the social message behind this? But it became famous. It made us laugh. It made us smile. It made us circulate these things. This is called absurdity, the life in absurdity. Yes, my friend Kavita, Dhinchak Puja. And I must tell you, Dhinchak Puja is from IP University MA English students. So the day her YouTube video stops working, she will come to me for net classes. And I'll be like, I can't take your fees. Selfie maine le li aaj. But this is going on. It's not the time of Lata Mangeshkar, it's not the time of Muhammad Rafi, it's the time of Dhinchak Puja. Why JCB machine became famous all of a sudden? What is the value of JCB machine in society? So technically the absurdity must be celebrated. ये हम हैं, ये मेरे स्टूडेंट्स हैं और हमारी यहाँ लाइव क्लास चल रही है. टेल पीपल दिस इज द वे विनीत पांडे टीचर्स. बोलो लाइव कैमरे में ऐसे एग्जांपल देता है विनीत पांडे, ऐसे कान मैसेज करके पढ़ाता है. Because we are living under an illusion of the idealism. The hero has six pack, hero has muscles, hero is good looking. What if you're not good looking? Good looking. Can't you be a good lover? Can't you be a great lover? लव स्टोरीज में हीरो हीरोइन सुंदर ही क्यों होते हैं भाई? We should talk about fat feminism. When we talk about ideal feminism, ideal women, why do we have to talk about their figure? Why do we have to talk about the fairness cream, fashion? झांसी की रानी को भी अगर आप इमेजिन करोगे ना, तो when you imagine झांसी की रानी, you imagine her as a fit lady. Why don't you imagine झांसी की रानी as Tuntun, somebody who is very fat? Being fat is not a bad thing. It's okay. But we have, we are living in an illusion. We are habitual of body shaming. हम किसी को नाटा, काला, मोटा, छोटा ये बोलते हैं. We tease people for short height. We tease people for dark color. We tease people for being fat. So technically, the absurds and the existential writers, they started questioning the another side of life. I'll give you one of my most famous example. I was in Varanasi. I was in Varanasi, Banaras. So it was Satyamev Harishchandra Ghat, a famous crematorium, a famous place for cremation. So there were so many bodies they were burnt, and people, they were getting cremated. So when I saw so many dead bodies, I was in 12th class. So I got scared. I was in 12th class, I got scared. मुझे बड़ा डर लगा. So I asked my father that I cannot stand here. I cannot see the bodies burning. I want to go. So when I turned back, I wanted to go. I was looking at people around me and I was thinking that how they are so much comfortable, where so many people have died, they are getting burnt, they are being cremated, and there was a Golgappa seller. People were eating chaat papdi, people were eating tea, people were doing smoking, and there were people dying. So, being a child, I couldn't understand that I cannot even stand those things. I cannot even, face those things. I can't see people being burnt, and the others were, हाँ मर गया हाँ. दूसरा क्या कह रहा है? गोलगप्पा खा रहा है. अरे हाँ ठीक है, लाओ गोलगप्पा लाओ. तीसरा चाय पी रहा है, चौथा पेप्सी पी रहा है. How is that possible? Even in crematorium there is a bargain that goes on. Bargaining hoti hai, the body is there, and they talk about lakdi ka charge, priest ka charge, charging of the priest, charging of the things. Bargaining hoti hai. घी कौन सा डालना है, चंदन की लकड़ी से जलाना है. What kind of value is of human life? क्या लाइफ की वैल्यू है? लिटरेरी क्रिटिसिज्म की बुक की जरूरत नहीं है. आपने मेरी क्लास ज्वाइन की है ना, मैं अकेला काफ़ी हूँ. 6 लिटरेरी क्रिटिसिज्म की किताबें पढ़ी हैं मैंने. यहाँ पे 6 बुक्स हैं लिटरेरी क्रिटिसिज्म की, और बहुत सारे गूगल रेफरेंसेस. अलग से पढ़ने की जरूरत नहीं है, नेट के लिए मैं करवा दूंगा. एल्बर्ट कामू, अनदर फेमस बुक, प्लेग, talks about this thing. Read it. Seeing a lot of death, the hero realizes, Dr. Rakes, he realizes that death is a reality. We should not be scared of it, and he willingly chooses to die. ये पढ़ना है आपको. Today what you have to read is Beat Generation, Jack Kerouac, William S. Burroughs, and Jack Kerouac, William S. Burroughs, एक कौन था? Howells वाला. One more right over there. Jack Kerouac is there, William S. Burroughs is there. Beat Generation, William S. Burroughs, Jack Kerouac. One more writer is there. I'm missing it. Anybody who remembers? Howl का writer कौन है? William S. Burroughs, Naked Lunch, Jack Kerouac, On the Road. Howl का writer. Anybody who remembers the third writer? Beat Generation. Jack Kerouac, William S. Burroughs. I missed it. Anyone who remembers the third writer of Beat Generation? William S. Burroughs, Jack Kerouac. Howl. I missed it. So, Allen Ginsberg, yes. Lecture के शुरू में I spoke. At the end of the lecture I forgot. This is called pre-conscious. Tip of the tongue. Yes, Allen Ginsberg. ये पढ़ना है. तीनों writers का basic introduction. Then in absurd theater, make sure you read Albert Camus, Outsider, Albert Camus, Plague, Albert Camus, Myth of Sisyphus, and make sure you remember this thing, that read the summary from Wikipedia and Spark Notes. Then I will deliver a proper lecture with every detail. Plus, make sure you read, revise, and those who are waiting for the 3 a.m. session, it will start 45 days before the exam. 45 days before. So 45 days पहले करेंगे. Till then, make sure you sit for 7 to 8 hours from today onwards. 7 to 8 hours. Make sure you have written everything that I have prescribed in audio lectures. Those who are working women, those who are married women, those who are working in the different sectors. If you do not get time to make notes, I suggest you to order the notes. My book will be available within 1 week in the market. You can also purchase my book. Along with these things, I suggest you that do not waste a lot of time to make notes. You will never be able to finish complete notes of NET. NET syllabus is really big. You won't be able to complete the syllabus by making notes. Even if you're writing my audio lectures, you won't be able to finish it. So I suggest you, do not waste your 5 to 6 hours in making notes, because after 2 months you have an exam. So I suggest you that if you can afford, simply call my office, order the notes. एक last information है, one last information, as I must tell you this thing. Once my book gets released in the market, the boss of my coaching classes, he has clearly told me that they will be increasing the charge of online class. They will be increasing the charge of notes. So I suggest you do it immediately, because once my book gets published, my name and fame, everything will become double triple. So any businessman will try to make a use of it. So my boss clearly told me, and I'm just informing you that within 1 week we can increase the prices. So I suggest you simply call my office 8587035827, talk to them, get the booklets, and let's qualify in this attempt. I will take 3 a.m. class, 3 baje उठ के, those who dare to get up at 3 a.m. with me, 45 days before the exam. And those who are willing to order the notes, they are providing you 14 booklets completely arranged and written by me. Some things are arranged, some things are written by me, and 14 booklets are there completing each and every topic. Everything is there in the detail. All the questions asked in net and set, they are all talked about. Along with those things, you have my live video classes, you have my audio classes. This is complete package to be a topper of net exam. We have given 7 toppers of net exam. You can be the 8th one. And out of those 7 toppers, there are only 2 boys, 5 girls. So let's see 8th one who becomes the 8th topper. Call my office, they'll help you, and I'll see you tomorrow in another live class. Thank you so much. And yes, I had a great fun with the students of ninth batch and 10th batch. Thank you so much.